As Muslims in Nigeria prepare for the Eid-el-Kabir celebration, rising cost of items in the markets is causing frustration. Airlines have gone up on major routes across the country, causing many travelers to lament. But operators have justified the increase, saying they need to charge sustainable fares for them to survive and maintain operations. Just because if I have to buy...
We are in a capitalist system.
If I have to buy for almost 500 naira per litre, or above 500 naira per litre, and you want to travel, I'll look at how much litre I'm going to buy to fill my tank to Ibadan. And the number of passengers, the tier and wear my vehicle, but it's not, especially for these private car hailing companies. It has not been easy. They've not adjusted the tariff, so that thing is really biting hard.
I know. You can't even call all these hailing services now. The cost they will charge you is very to start working. You have to bother yourself. Two things will happen. The airfare, of course, is not a reflection of costing, because aviation fuel, as you know, has been subsidized. The subsidy has been removed.
Yes, long ago.
So if they are talking about demand and supply, we can understand that. But they cannot now use that as an excuse to increase verbatim cost overnight. All over the world, governments try to regulate things like this so that people are not used. Of course, it's also a failure of our lack of planning over time. Because all over the world, road travel is fundamental to most economies. Because most towns, as you know, rely on railway stations and on roads where they do stops along the road for them to make money. Places like Ore. Imagine a place like Ore, what Ore will be without interstate transportation. Imagine what Shagamu used to be before when we were using the old Ijebu road to get to Ibadan. You don't remember what toll gates used to be before the expansion of the road. So the economy of states has to be affected. But I've always said it. The failure of the government in 75, 79 to link Lagos and Abuja via rail is one of the fundamental failures of why things we do like this. Because normally, Nigeria should have roads that are so, because we have a little bit under 1 million square kilometers. That means good roads is a sine qua non when it comes to this. That's why this airfare will affect a lot of people who are now forced to either join together to take a bus or do other things. A lot of people are not going home because it's not only the airfare that has gone up, even the price of pepper.
Everything is going up.
IGKB, if you remember, there's this one that we call, what do we call it now? The local one, the US. Transport by road.
Okay.
That's Greyhound. Going from like Chicago to like Minnesota, all over 10 hours. Yeah. And you decide to, I want to go by road. That's what I can afford.
That's what I do. Roads. Good roads. Not only good roads, even the vehicles
to
are
Wisconsin,
regulated.
to St. Paul's, everywhere. Good roads.
From
2 lanes and everything.
Down to anywhere you want to go.
Now the problem now is that my mother went to Ondo State over the weekend and she got to my village and she came back and I asked her, a 73-year-old man, and she told me that she is in pains. I said, what? I said, the roads are very, very bad.
They are horrendous.
And she was even advising me not to go by road for anything. That's to go to anywhere close to Ondo State now. That's it's nightmare.
Roads are bad.
That means you want to fly.
Exactly.
And the alternative, can you afford it?
But the reason why many people still take the road is because they cannot afford the airfare. That's why many people, that's why you still see people going from Lagos to Abuja by road. If they had a choice, they would rather take the air. But you see, the thing is that a lot of people, the general hike in prices of commodities and services, they are talking about the floating of the naira, talking about the, what's it called now? The removal of subsidy and all of that. I was with a friend yesterday, and he was complaining, why this, why that? But I said something. I said, look, the old system where we were doing patch, everything subsidized, we will not be able to sustain it. A time will come, if we did not do anything, there will still be an implosion. People will now complain and start cursing government. You understand what I'm saying? Because we will not be able to manage it any longer. Now, the things that are happening, if it's about the removal of subsidy and floating of naira and all of that, even electricity.
It's expensive. It's not safe. We don't have good roads.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Roads are bad.
Exactly. So we need to fix. Where I'm going is this: all of these things that are happening, we need to now come up with a plan, a comprehensive plan to develop our country. You talk about roads.
I'm telling you,
You understand?
declare a state of
Road,
emergency.
it should be fun. Traveling for 10 hours. Traveling for even for 24.
Normally, Lagos to Abuja is going to be like 10 hours.
Exactly.
On a normal stretch.
Let me tell
but right now.
Ayo, let me tell you a joke. You will not believe this. Between Mombasa, the port city, and Nairobi, is 520 kilometers.
520.
That's roughly the size of Lagos to Abuja. They have only one single road. If you Google it, they pride themselves that they build a road that's almost straight. That means once you take a bus in Nairobi or a car, you are going on one road to Mombasa, 520 kilometers, almost on a straight line. You can Google it. You see that the road is almost on a straight line. That was deliberate. Because when you have two major points, like Lagos and Abuja, that you need to move, it's not something that should be played with. In fact, Lagos and Abuja should have not only 1, 2, 3 roads leading to it directly, should also have a rail system, including a fast rail. Imagine a 3-hour rail, just Lagos and Abuja.
Go through Akure, go through Ekiti, go through Kogi, everywhere.
Everywhere is bad.
We need to be very intentional in governance.
No, we have missed
opportunities. Lot of opportunities. We've had presidents, administrations that just sat there doing nothing. When I say doing nothing, I mean they are doing everything but nothing. Motion without movement. You understand what I'm saying? Things that directly affect the common.
No, I think it's a accumulation of
I agree.
neglect.
I agree with you.
Yes.
You now have a
administration and everything.
president
but
who is
right
rushing.
Now, no. Even for the last administration, they invested on infrastructure.
Heavily. But again,
you know, the deficit we had.
It's massive.
Well, they invested.
Yes.
They invested in infrastructure truly, but security also. Insecurity.
Yes.
Coupled.
Yes.
Yeah. So many people are not even thinking of the strides they made in infrastructure. You understand? People will just remember former President Buhari as the person who pretended over a country that was in chaos security-wise. You understand? We remember him. We remember his ambition for kidnappings, terrorism, and all of that. That affected a lot of things.
I won't forget the railway projects.
You understand? Yes.
I won't forget
No. That's you.
Niger build.
No, that is you.
That's all.
We know these things are there.
Lagos Ibadan Express was still
nobody
ongoing.
denies it. Nobody. Those things are there. But it still does not change the fact that that administration failed in many areas.
I won't disagree with
failed in many areas. That rubbish, whatever modest achievements it had.
What we failed to do, or what Nigerian governments have failed to do in the last 30 years, is what Buhari tried to tackle. Obviously, not very successfully. Because like I said, we have roads that are not at the same par with our growth. Remember this program 5 years ago? We told them that the design for the Lagos-Ibadan road would be obsolete by the time they open it. Remember, 5 years ago, we told them on this program.
They also have
and now, the Lagos-Ibadan road, the car axis, the motorway axis is already useless. The matter of speaking.
That is our poor maintenance culture.
Even planning. Because normally,
the place is now densely populated. The place Itato that was sparsely populated.
When you re-award it when Obasanjo was living, and we said it the same when Yar'Adua was living, was that the new Lagos that is coming, Lagos can no longer take the level of traffic that is taking.
Mowe, Ibafo, Ofada, Arikbu.
The Shagamu bypass now. People are moving there. Already, the portion between Shagamu and Ibadan was reduced, as you know. That too is growing because things are coming in from Ibadan now towards Lagos. That means somebody in 10 years will have to think again of redesigning. But remember, those who designed Lagos-Badagry Express Road, or the Mile 21, is still standard. Remember those who designed Korodu Road? when the Ikorodu was still in the forest. Today, it's still functioning.
Yeah, it's
because it's a 10-lane, 12-lane express road that no matter what you do, there will still be enough room for those traveling to go. Anytime I pass through Lagos, it pains me because it's a road that ought to have been redesigned. Traveling lane, 6 lanes. Service lane, 4 lanes. Those towns will grow with the service lanes.
It's a major road. It's a
major road. Economic nerve.
Probably the busiest road.
Yes.
The busiest road,
According
one
to
of the busiest
statistics.
federal road.
No, imagine
the only one that connects Lagos.
Yes, to everywhere.
To everywhere. Apart from the
Ekpe, pass through Lagos, Abeokuta.
Because you don't think...
Even look at the state of Lagos, Abeokuta Expressway.
Oh, no, don't talk about that. Toll gate. Shame. No, that toll gate. Dakwa Abiodun, federal government, everything.
Ogun
Shame.
State,
No. That toll gate area.
Ogun State.
It was as if we're, I'm telling you, as if there was a kind of war going on in Ogun State when I passed that place last.
No.
That toll gate road. No.
Immediately you...
Human beings.
Even before you get to toll gate,
even
you see Ahmadiyya Ija area, there are very bad portions.
Do you know that?
You understand that once I turned straight down from the road at Abule Taylor, from that point to get to Songo.
Special thanks to Akinwumi Ambodi's administration that
they opened
built
up
43 roads
in
that axis.
Ojokoro area today.
That is the only help for those guys.
We have more.
But the major road, no. It's nothing to write to about.
I think we used to lambast even President Obasanjo those days. The school is close to your farm, for God's sake.
It doesn't take...
you know. Yeah, but that's so insensitive.
Baba is not in Abeokuta.
No, the problem with Nigeria is that of lack of foresight when we plan. And this is what is coming back to bite us in the behind with this affair. Because as you know, coming in from Gary, Indiana, and you're coming to Chicago, they will give you a choice. $20 to take the fast road 20 minutes or take the old road for 2 hours. It's not rocket science. All these PPP can be done. You don't need to do it as a government.
Exactly.
Just tell somebody. Imagine the Kara Bridge. I said, there's no reason why those living in that axis should take the express. There should be their own road, parallel to them. That's what is done all over the world. Do a road that is permanent to them, so they can do face-to-face and leave those of us who are traveling.
Highway.
So go. Yeah. But everybody congest on the road and they will spend 8 hours.
It's all about being intentional.
I know a guy who was supposed to do graduation at LASU that could not get out of. He couldn't get to it.
Okay, we take